Dear children, so from today we are going to start with the second chapter of our English book First Flight, and the name of the chapter is Long Walk to Freedom. So first of all, here you are going to be provided with the introduction of the chapter. So the chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela. So this particular chapter has been taken from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela. So what an autobiography is? Autobiography is an account written by the person himself. So what you have been told here, that this is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela. So Nelson Mandela was a person who was born on the 18th of July 1918. And who he was? He was the first black president of South Africa. He was the first black president. So earlier than him, there was the rule of the English people over there. And he took over as the first black president of South Africa. Excerpts from Long Walk to Freedom include description of the inauguration ceremony. So here in this particular excerpt, means in this particular extract, children, you are going to find the descriptions of the inauguration ceremony. So inauguration ceremony was the oath-taking ceremony of Nelson Mandela. Citations from his speech. Here you are also going to find some citations, some quotations from his speech. His journey to being a freedom fighter, how he became a freedom fighter, his struggle, along with a tribute to other freedom fighters. So here you are also going to find the tribute that he had made to other freedom fighters of his country and countless other people who fought for their freedom. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was followed. So here you have been told that in South Africa there was followed a brutal practice of apartheid. So what this apartheid was? Apartheid refers to the discrimination. Discrimination means difference between the people on the basis of their race. Discrimination means distancing people on the basis of their race. It was one of the most brutal means cruel. It was one of the most brutal societies where dark skinned people were deprived of the basic rights. So it was that kind of a society in South Africa where the dark skinned people were deprived of the basic rights. कि जो dark skinned people थे उनको अपने बेसिक राइट्स, उनको अपने मूलभूत अधिकार भी नहीं प्राप्त थे. सो दिस लेसन गिव्स अस एन ओवरव्यू एज टू हाउ नेल्सन मंडेला along with the others carved their way to a society where there will be no discrimination on the basis of their color, caste, race, age or gender. So, working together and fighting against this apartheid, Nelson Mandela tried to create such a system. He carved such a society. Carved means created. He created such a society where there was going to be no discrimination on the basis of color, caste, race, age or gender. So now children, I would like to provide you with the Hindi meaning of this introduction. So this Hindi meaning has also been provided here so that the weaker class of students might also be able to understand the things. यहाँ पे आपको हिंदी में भी इसका इस इंट्रोडक्शन का एक्सप्लेनेशन इसलिए दिया जा रहा है कि जो वीकर स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनको बहुत अच्छे से समझ में नहीं आती है इंग्लिश, वो भी इसको समझ करके अपने आप को बेनिफिट कर सकें. तो बच्चों, हमारा ये चैप्टर का जो इंट्रोडक्शन है ये लॉन्ग वॉक टू फ्रीडम, जो कि नेल्सन मंडेला की ऑटोबायोग्राफी क्या होती है कि जब कोई अपनी लाइफ हिस्ट्री को खुद लिखता है तो उसे हम ऑटोबायोग्राफी बोलते हैं. तो नेल्सन मंडेला की ऑटोबायोग्राफी जिसका नाम था लॉन्ग वॉक टू फ्रीडम, उससे ये एक्सट्रैक्ट लिया गया है. सो नेल्सन मंडेला का जन्म हुआ था 18 जुलाई 1918 को. वो साउथ अफ्रीका के फर्स्ट ब्लैक प्रेसिडेंट थे. ब्लैक प्रेसिडेंट क्यों? क्योंकि उससे पहले वहाँ पे अंग्रेजों का शासन था और अंग्रेज नॉर्मली फेयर स्किन के होते हैं और ये नेल्सन मंडेला ब्लैक स्किन के थे और ये साउथ अफ्रीका के फर्स्ट ब्लैक प्रेसिडेंट बने. तो इस पर्टिकुलर एक्सेप्ट में, इस पर्टिकुलर एक्सट्रैक्ट में, इस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट में आपको क्या बताया जा रहा है कि ये जो लॉन्ग वॉक टू फ्रीडम है, इसमें हम सबसे पहले देखेंगे डिस्क्रिप्शन उनकी इनॉग्रेशन सेरेमनी का. इनॉग्रेशन सेरेमनी का मतलब कि उनकी ओथ टेकिंग सेरेमनी. तो बच्चों, आप बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं कि जब कोई प्राइम मिनिस्टर या प्रेसिडेंट या कोई मिनिस्टर बनता है तो उसकी ओथ टेकिंग सेरेमनी होती है. वो ओथ लेते हैं, संविधान के नाम पर एक शपथ लेते हैं, तो इसी को इनॉग्रेशन सेरेमनी कहा गया है. साइटेशंस फ्रॉम हिज स्पीच, मतलब उनकी स्पीच से भी कुछ उदाहरण इसमें लिए जाएंगे. हिज जर्नी टू बीइंग अ फ्रीडम फाइटर, कि किस तरीके से वो फ्रीडम फाइटर बने. द स्ट्रगल, उनका स्ट्रगल अलॉन्ग विद द ट्रिब्यूट टू अदर फ्रीडम फाइटर्स एंड काउंटलेस अदर पीपल हु फॉट फॉर देयर फ्रीडम. तो किस तरीके से उन्होंने अपने देश के फ्रीडम फाइटर्स को श्रद्धांजलि दी और दूसरे भी बहुत सारे लोग जो देश की स्वतंत्रता के लिए लड़े, उनको किस तरीके से श्रद्धांजलि दी गई, इन सब चीज़ों को हम इसमें जानेंगे। इन साउथ अफ्रीका ब्रूटल प्रैक्टिस नेम्ड अपार्थेड वॉज फॉलोड। तो साउथ अफ्रीका में एक ब्रूटल सिस्टम था जिसको अपार्थेड बोलते थे। तो ये अपार्थेड क्या होता था? ये एक तरीके का डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, एक तरीके के भेदभाव की परंपरा थी जो कि डार्क स्किन लोगों के साथ में की जाती थी फेयर स्किन लोगों के द्वारा, कि मतलब रेस की बेसिस पे, जाति की बेसिस पे जो डिस्क्रिमिनेशन किया जाता था उसको अपार्थेड कहा गया। इट वाज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट ब्रूटल सोसाइटीज। ये साउथ अफ्रीका की सोसाइटी अंग्रेजों के ज़माने में बड़ी ही ब्रूटल सोसाइटी थी, बड़ी ही मर्सीलेस सोसाइटी थी, बहुत ही क्रूर सोसाइटी थी, कि जहाँ पर लोगों को के स्किन के कलर की बेसिस पे उनको उनके साथ भेदभाव किया जाता था और उनको उनके अधिकार नहीं दिए जाते थे। तो नेल्सन मंडेला के प्रयासों के स्वरूप, उनके स्ट्रगल के स्वरूप एक ऐसी सोसाइटी क्रिएट की गई, कार्व की गई साउथ अफ्रीका में, जहाँ पर इस तरीके का कलर, कास्ट, रेस, एज और जेंडर की बेसिस पे कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं था। So children, from now we are going to start here with the explanation of the text. So first of all I am going to provide you with the word meaning and then the explanation of the text. So 10th May dawned bright and clear. For the past few days I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respect before the inauguration. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of the international leaders on South African soil. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheatre formed by the Union Buildings in Pretoria. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy, and now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. So first of all, here you have been provided with the meaning of the difficult words. Dawned. Dawn means began. किसी चीज की शुरुआत होना. Pleasantly, giving a sense of happy satisfaction or enjoyment. Pleasantly means बड़ी खुशी के साथ किसी भी चीज को प्राप्त करना, किसी भी चीज को एक्सेप्ट करना. That is pleasantly means with happiness. Besieged, to be surrounded by, घिरा हुआ होना. Dignitaries, a person considered to be important because of high rank or office. Somebody important is called a dignitary. Sandstone, that is a kind of stone. As it is marble or granite, in the same way there are sandstones also there. So now children, we are going to start here with the explanation of the first paragraph. So what you have been told here, 10th May was the day when Nelson Mandela sworn in as the first black head of the state South Africa. So what you have been told here children, that 10th May was the day when Nelson Mandela sworn in. Sworn in means took oath. That it was the day, 10th May was the day when Nelson Mandela took oath as the first black head of the state, that is South Africa. That this was the day when Nelson Mandela took the oath as the first black president of South Africa. It was after years of struggle that his anti-racist party came into power. So, the party of Nelson Mandela, that was African National Congress, it had been struggling for a long time. And after a very long struggle, his anti-racist party, so this party, South African National Congress, has been referred to here as the anti-racist party, that it did not belong to any particular race. It was a kind of anti-racist party, means it hadn't got any kind of prejudice, it hadn't got any kind of sense of partiality towards any particular race. It was a non-communal party and it came into power. Until then, the seat had always been occupied by the white presidents. So before Nelson Mandela took oath, before Nelson Mandela's Congress party came into power, the seat had always been occupied by the white presidents, that the English people had ruled over there. That is why the author referred to the day as bright and clear. So this is the particular region on account of which this particular day when Nelson Mandela took oath has been referred to as bright and clear. That it was a bright and clear day, that there was going to be the brightness of justice, there was going to be the clarity of vision in regard to the sense of justice. So that is the reason on account of which this particular day has been referred to as bright and clear, that everything was going to be brightened, everything was going to be clear, everything was going to be joyful, everything was going to be impartial and full of justice. So that is the meaning of bright and clear. So it was a morning full of hope. So it was definitely a morning full of hope for everybody. Days before this date, many notable personalities started congratulating him for his victory. So before the date of inauguration, means before the date of the oath taking ceremony, the notable personalities from the worldwide, the notable means famous personalities from worldwide, started congratulating him for his victory. People started congratulating Nelson Mandela for his victory. For the first time in the country's history, so many international leaders came together for the inauguration ceremony. So now, in order to take part in the inauguration ceremony, in order to take part in the oath taking ceremony, the leaders from far and wide had been invited and gathered over there. So the ceremony took place in an open circular building made up of sandstone. So this is what has been referred to as amphitheater. Amphitheater is an open air theater. So it was made up of sandstone in the Pretoria city. So where was this ceremony organized? It was organized in the city of Pretoria. So now I would like to provide you with the Hindi explanation of the paragraph. So 10th मई का दिन, बच्चों आपको क्या बताया गया कि 10th मई का दिन वो दिन था जब नेल्सन मंडेला ने ओथ टेकिंग सेरेमनी ऑर्गेनाइज की एज द फर्स्ट ब्लैक हेड ऑफ द स्टेट साउथ अफ्रीका, कि जब उन्होंने साउथ अफ्रीका के प्रेसिडेंट के तौर पे, जब उन्होंने साउथ अफ्रीका के हेड ऑफ द स्टेट के तौर पे पहली बार शपथ ग्रहण की, पहली बार उन्होंने ओथ ग्रहण की. तो इट वॉज आफ्टर ईयर्स ऑफ स्ट्रगल. तो काफ़ी लंबे समय तक एक स्ट्रगल चला उनकी एंटी रेसिस्ट पार्टी जो साउथ अफ्रीकन कांग्रेस पार्टी थी उसमें और अंग्रेजों के शासन के बीच में काफ़ी लंबी स्ट्रगल चली और उसके बाद नेल्सन मंडेला को ये सीट मिली. और तब तक ये हमेशा वाइट प्रेसिडेंट्स ऑक्युपाई करते थे, ये प्रेसिडेंट की सीट को, इस प्रेसिडेंशियल सीट को वाइट प्रेसिडेंट्स ऑक्युपाई करते थे. सो दैट इज व्हाई द ऑथर रेफर टू द डे एज ब्राइट एंड क्लियर. तो इस दिन एक नया शुभारंभ होना था, इस दिन एक नई शुरुआत होनी थी और इसीलिए इस दिन को ब्राइट एंड क्लियर कहा गया है, क्योंकि इस दिन जो है अन्याय का शासन खत्म हो रहा था और न्याय के एक नए शासन की शुरुआत हो रही थी. तो ये एक ऐसी मॉर्निंग थी जो कि फुल ऑफ होप थी. डेज बिफोर दिस डेट मेनी नोटेबल पर्सनैलिटीज स्टार्टेड कॉन्ग्रेचुलेटिंग हिम. तो बहुत सारे लोगों ने इकट्ठा होकर के, दुनिया की पर्सनैलिटीज़ ने नेल्सन मंडेला को कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करना शुरू किया उनकी इस जीत के लिए. बहुत सारे इंटरनेशनल लीडर्स भी साथ आए और उन्होंने उनको कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट किया. और ये सेरेमनी प्रिटोरिया सिटी, साउथ अफ्रीका में एक सिटी है जिसका नाम प्रिटोरिया सिटी है, वहाँ के एक एम्पी थिएटर में जो कि सैंडस्टोन का बना हुआ था, वहाँ पे ये सेरेमनी ऑर्गेनाइज की गई. So children, now we are going to start here with the second paragraph. So on that lovely day, I was accompanied by my daughter Zinani. On the podium, Mr. D. Clark was first sworn in as the second deputy president. Then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as the first deputy president. When it was my turn, I pledged to obey and uphold the constitution and to devote myself to the well-being of the republic and its people. So now we are going to see to the word meanings. Deputy means second in command. The person who is after the person in the first order is called second in command. Sworn, given under oath, determined to stay in the role specified. Pledged means committed by a solemn promise. Somebody who has decided something by a solemn promise, by a serious promise. So now we are going to see to the explanation of the second paragraph. Here children, you have been told that the author was accompanied by his daughter Zinani on his big day. That he was accompanied by his daughter Zinani. In the previous page you have also seen the picture of Nelson Mandela on the podium along with his daughter. So that is the picture of his daughter. You can see it on the previous page. First, the two vice presidents took an oath. So in the order of taking ceremony, first the two vice presidents, you have been given their names also, D. Clark and Thabo Mbeki. They were the two vice presidents who took an oath previously than Mr. Mandela. Then when it was his turn, he committed to respect. He committed means he decided to respect, to protect and abide by the constitution. Abide by means to follow the constitution and to devote himself entirely into the welfare of the country. So that is what he was determined for, that he is going to devote himself entirely to the welfare of the country. तो यहाँ पे आपको क्या बताया गया कि ऑथर ने उस दिन अपनी बेटी को अपने साथ में रखा था. उनकी बेटी जिनका नाम जिनैनी था, शी वॉज ऑल्सो देयर विद हिम ऑन हिज बिग डे. उस दिन वो भी उनके साथ में थी. तो नेल्सन मंडेला से पहले उनके दो वाइस प्रेसिडेंट्स जिनका नाम डी क्लार्क और थाम्बो एम्बेकी था, उन्होंने उनसे पहले शपथ ग्रहण की, ओथ ली. उसके बाद फिर जब नेल्सन मंडेला का नंबर आया तो उन्होंने इस बात को कमिटेड होकर के एक्सेप्ट किया कि वो अपनी कंट्री को प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे और कंट्री के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को अबाइड करेंगे, उसका पालन करेंगे और वो अपने आप को डिवोट करेंगे कंट्री के वेलफेयर की तरफ पूरी तौर से। To the assembled guests and the watching world, I said, today all of us do, by our presence here, confer glory and hope to the newborn liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity be proud of. We, who were outlaws not so long ago, have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. We thank all our distinguished international guests for having come to take position with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, peace, for human dignity. So now we are going to see to the word meaning. Assembled. Assembled means gathered together in one place for common purpose. That is assembled. Confer means grant. Glory means honor or respect. Outlaws. So here you have been told that because of its policy of apartheid, many countries had earlier broken off diplomatic relations with South Africa. That since in South Africa there was followed the policy of apartheid, there was followed the policy of discrimination, the international world had broken off its relationship with South Africa. On our own soil means in our own country. Position means ownership. Dignity means respect. So children, now we are going to start here with the explanation of this particular paragraph where the author also mentions some parts of his speech where he said that everyone by his presence was giving rise to hope for a new beginning. So here children, you are being told that some of the parts of the speech of Nelson Mandela have been taken up here, and in this particular part he has been thanking the international community, he has been thanking the international leaders who by their presence in this oath taking ceremony have been giving an approval to the new democracy of South Africa. So Nelson Mandela in this way seems to be thanking the world leaders who have taken part into this ceremony, and in this way they have just granted their approval to the new rise of democracy in South Africa. So here further he says that previous rulers were discriminatory. So by previous rulers he refers to mention to the Britishers who had been discriminatory, who had been making injustice, who had been differentiating among communities on the basis of their caste, creed, community and religion, and they lasted for too long in South Africa. But now the people who have got the rule, means the people of African National Congress who are in rule now, they would stand up against all discrimination, that they are going to stand up against all discrimination, they are not going to follow the policy of discrimination, they are going to shun away the policy of discrimination, भेदभाव की policy को वो छोड़ देंगे. He is glad to host a ceremony with the presence of global leaders, and Nelson Mandela says here that he is very glad that he has got the opportunity to become a host to the global leaders, and according to him it is an achievement. And he also remembers a time when South Africa for practicing apartheid. So he remembers a time during the British period when South Africa was practicing apartheid, and on account of this discriminatory practice, South Africa had lost its international diplomatic relationship with the world community. But now once again, after the end of this discriminatory rule, he says that there is no segregation on the basis of race and gender, and other nations are happy to have a healthy democratic relationship with South Africa. So finally, he says that now the African National Congress has come to power. They have come to power means the African National Congress have come to power, and they pledge to make everyone proud. They are determined to make everyone proud. He thanked everyone, especially the international leaders, for joining them in celebrating their achievement, which is a step towards an equal society where every human will be treated fairly. So he promises that the African National Congress is going to create such a regime, it is going to create such a rule where everybody is going to get a respect and everybody is going to get a fair treatment. तो बच्चों, ये हिंदी में भी आपको बता दूं कि ऑथर के स्पीच के कुछ एक्चुअल पार्ट्स को यहाँ पे मेंशन किया गया है कि जिसमें सबसे पहले वो कहते हैं कि वो हर किसी के लिए धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करते हैं, वो हर किसी के लिए थैंकफुल हैं कि जिन्होंने अपनी प्रेजेंस से साउथ अफ्रीका की इस न्यू डेमोक्रेसी को अप्रूवल दिया है कि इंटरनेशनल लीडर्स जो आज की ओथ टेकिंग सेरेमनी में प्रेजेंट रहे हैं, तो उनकी प्रेजेंस का मतलब है कि वो साउथ अफ्रीका की न्यू बॉर्न डेमोक्रेसी को अप्रूवल दे रहे हैं। वो ये भी कहते हैं कि इससे पहले जो डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी लॉस थे, जो डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी रूल था, जो कि काफ़ी लंबे टाइम तक लास्ट हुआ, जो कि काफ़ी लंबे टाइम तक चला, तो उसके जाने के बाद अब एएनसी मींस अफ्रीकन नेशनल कांग्रेस को अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली है और अफ्रीकन नेशनल कांग्रेस इस बात के लिए डिटरमाइंड है कि वो स्टैंड अप करेगा अगेंस्ट डिस्क्रिमिनेशन के खिलाफ वो खड़ा होगा। वो ये भी कह रहे हैं कि उनको इस बात की बड़ी प्रसन्नता है कि उन्होंने एक सेरेमनी ऑर्गेनाइज की है ग्लोबल लीडर्स के लिए, और ये उनके लिए एक अचीवमेंट है। अचीवमेंट क्यों है? क्योंकि एक टाइम था कि जब साउथ अफ्रीका में अपार्थेड की प्रैक्टिस होती थी और साउथ अफ्रीका ने अपनी इंटरनेशनल रिलेशनशिप को खो दिया था दुनिया के देशों के साथ। दुनिया के देशों ने अपनी डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशनशिप साउथ अफ्रीका के साथ में खत्म कर ली थी। लेकिन आज ऐसा कोई भी सेग्रीगेशन, आज ऐसा कोई भी डिफरेंस नहीं है, कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है, रेस या जेंडर की बेसिस पे कोई डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं है, और वो एक हेल्दी रिलेशनशिप पूरी दुनिया के साथ बना पा रहे हैं। उन्होंने इसके लिए इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी को थैंक्स भी किया कि वो इस सेलिब्रेशन और अचीवमेंट में उनके साथ हैं और वो अपना सपोर्ट दे रहे हैं इस न्यू बॉर्न डेमोक्रेसी को, जिसमें नेल्सन मंडेला और उनकी अफ्रीकन नेशनल कांग्रेस इस बात के लिए प्रॉमिस कर रही है कि यहाँ पे हर कोई फेयरली ट्रीट किया जाएगा, हर किसी को समान अधिकार मिले होंगे। So children, now we are going to start here with the next part. Here Nelson Mandela says, "We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender and other discrimination. Never, never and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa." So now you will see the meaning of difficult words. Emancipation means the fact or process of being set free from legal, social or political restrictions. Emancipation means गुलामी से छुटकारा। वो गुलामी चाहे लीगल हो, सोशल हो या पॉलिटिकल हो, इस तरीके की रिस्ट्रिक्शन से फ्रीडम, इस तरीके के रिस्ट्रिक्शन से छुटकारा पाना। लिबरेट मीन्स टू बी फ्री और टू बी रिलीज्ड। बॉन्डेज द स्टेट ऑफ बीइंग अ स्लेव, गुलाम होना। डिस्क्रिमिनेशन मीन्स डिस्टिंक्शन और डिफ्रेंसिएशन, भेदभाव करना। डिप्राइवेशन द डैमेजिंग लैक ऑफ मटेरियल बेनिफिट्स मीन्स चीज़ों की कमी होना, सुविधाओं की कमी होना, दैट इज डिप्राइवेशन। लैक ऑफ फैसिलिटीज, लैक ऑफ बेसिक कम्युनिटीज। ऑपरेशन means torture of one person by another, prolonged, cruel or unjust treatment or exercise of authority, that is oppression. Prolonged, cruel or unjust treatment means a kind of injustice that is being done by the powerful to the weak, मतलब सताया जाना। Glorious, having worthy of or bringing fame or admiration, something full of glory. Reign means rule. So children, here in the explanation of this particular part, you are being told that he mentions, means Nelson Mandela mentions, that after great struggle, they have finally been able to achieve a political freedom, that they have finally been able to get a political freedom, that is emancipation, कि उन्हें एक political freedom मिली, उन्हें एक छुटकारा मिला उस गुलामी से जिसमें वो बहुत दिनों से बंधे हुए थे। His government promised to free everyone of the still existing poverty, hardship and inequalities of all kind, along with assurance to everyone of a country where no community will be considered inferior. So his government has been making a promise that everybody is going to be free, not only politically, but everybody is going to be free of poverty, hardship, hunger and these kind of inequalities as well. कि वो एक promise कर रहे हैं कि उनकी country का हर कोई जो है वो गरीबी, hardship, असमानता, दैट इज इनइक्वालिटी, इन चीज़ों से मुक्ति पाएगा, जहाँ पे कोई भी कम्युनिटी वो इंफीरियर नहीं मानी जाएगी, किसी से कमजोर नहीं मानी जाएगी। देन ही एक्सक्लेम्स दैट फ्रीडम शुड रूल एंड मे गॉड शावर हिज ब्लेसिंग्स ऑन देयर लैंड। ही एक्सक्लेम्स मीन्स ही सेज विद अ काइंड ऑफ सेंटिमेंट दैट द फ्रीडम शुड रूल, that he says that never such a situation is going to prevail, never ever such a situation is going to prevail where the rule of freedom is not going to be there. And he has been requesting God for showering his blessings onto their land.